What's up, gamers? It's been a wild week in the news with delays, projects coming in ahead of schedule, and new games being announced. This should get us as caught up as I can, and I even got my GameFound emails fixed, so I should have much more comprehensive coverage of GameFound campaigns going forward. A quick thank you to all my Patreons for your continued support. Let's make 2024 a year to remember. And now let's look at what's happening on crowdfunding. Over on GameFound, we have High Frontier for All, Module 5, an expansion for the 18XX space exploration game that teeters on the very heavy end of gameplay. While the campaign page leaves a bit to be desired for new players, this game has been on my wishlist for quite a while now, and it's one not to miss if you're into the genre. Over on Kickstarter, we have Spire's End, Rangataki, a solo choose-your-own-adventure game with minimal setup and teardown that seeks to twist a tale of a journey to make a daring escape from an unexpected enemy with a dark secret. Finally, we have Eve the Board Game by Titanforge Games, creator of Lobotomy 1 and 2. This is another 4X game where you'll explore, manipulate the economy, build your fleet, and battle for supremacy of New Eden. Alright, now on to the news. The third online stretch goal, Arena Mode, is now available for OrcQuest Warpath. The one-shot mode is taking more work than originally expected, so the schedule of releases has been slightly modified. The Shadow over Ratsmith campaign will be available in February, and one-shots will become available in March. A finalized FAQ is on the way shortly as well. Studium No Exit is back with an update and some eye-catching new artwork. The update offers a look at some of the baddies that have taken up residence in the Emptied Ward, who have been subjected to the brutal rites of the Black Flame. They also introduced the first Tier 3 advanced class, the Dominatrix. As for the project as a whole, they're working on completing the Pledge Manager. More tabletop simulator streams are incoming, and a small batch of resin prints should be going out shortly. Pre-orders are now up for Cthulhu Dark Providence, a new standalone game set in the Cthulhu Death May Die universe. While the game is standalone, many of the exclusive investigators can make the jump to be playable within Death May Die. The game itself is set in the Great Depression when cultists are seeking to take advantage of the nation's vulnerability, and investigators must stand against them. Twist: players are secretly divided amongst two factions. It comes complete with a solo mode for those looking to investigate alone. The pre-order also comes with a $10 discount should you be interested. Shipping for Dungeons of Doria is now mostly completed. If you haven't received your game, contact Victor so he can help. Paper card holders breaking seems to be the biggest issue with deliveries, and honestly, that happens in transit. It's not a huge issue, your cards were just pre-shuffled. There have been corrections made to the TTS mod, and you'll now be able to import the necessary items from the print and play materials and enjoy campaigns online with your friends. Check the print and play folder for instructions. The first shipping update of 2024 is in for Euthia's reprint and expansion run. In Asia, all packages have gone out. In Canada, the games are at the shipping hubs. In the US, the games have cleared customs and are now being delivered. In Australia, packages should have been shipped out by January 19th. In the EU and UK, boats have hit delays due to attacks on shipping vessels and have been rerouted. The boat for the UK should have arrived on the 22nd, and the EU on the 24th. Before I go too far, I shudder to have to repeat this awful news. Mythic recently updated both their Hel the Last Saga backers and their Anastyr backers to tell them they would not be fulfilling the projects as promised and planned. With pretty much a copy and paste announcement, they both tried to remove blame from themselves and simultaneously trying to make it look like they're doing backers a favor by not asking for more contributions to finish the project. The truth is, they lack the means and likely the personnel and brains to finish these projects. But they say there's a bright side. For anyone pledged at a core level or above, CMON might make these games in another form. And if they do, sometime in the unforetold future, you can pay shipping and VAT once again to receive only a core copy of the new games that you didn't back. This leaves those who might be well over $1,000 in the hole on these projects out to dry completely. You get a core if the new games are being made. That is all. Please, for the love of God, do not hand these criminals any more of your hard-earned money. They don't deserve it, they don't need it, and they certainly can't be trusted with it. Repeat after me. Don't pay for stupid excuses. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Forsaken is in the home stretch. Miniature samples are in and look good after some minor corrections. All files for the trays are complete and ready for the factory. Overall, the project should still be on track for a Q2 2024 delivery. The Pledge Manager will be closing sometime around the end of February. Mythwind is busy making its way to backers. In Canada, 95% of orders are complete. In the US, Orders should start shipping any day now. In Europe and the rest of the world, the packages are in queue at the hub. Asia is almost fulfillment complete. SAS Rogue Regiment is still ticking off the items on their to-do list, but the list is getting shorter. Currently, they're predicting delivery in an April-May timeline. The mass production samples for Skyrise is currently en route to the studio. Most of production is complete already, and assembly is started. It looks like the game will finally see the light of day soon. For Soul, Last Days of a Star, fulfillment is underway in the US and Canada, with the rest of the world starting in the next week or so. Marvel Zombicide is completing their shipments with only around 340 packages left in limbo at the moment. The US, Canada, Europe, Asian Pacific, and Australia are done. Mexico, Brazil, and Chile still have around 300 packages affected by a FedEx mistake, and they'll be headed back out soon. Alaska and Canada are waiting for around 40 packages to reach the hub in February to be shipped. Wyrmspan, the spiritual successor to the hit game Wingspan, has been announced by Stonemaier Games, this time swapping terrestrial creatures for a more fantasy twist. This game leans on the original while offering a much more in-depth and meaty experience. Wyrmspan drafts you as an amateur dracologist, where you'll excavate a recently discovered hidden labyrinth and entice majestic creatures that live within to the sanctuary of your caves. The Cthulhu Death May Die team has entered final approvals for all of the printed proofs. If the proofs are any indication, the colors look great and we should be in for a treat. Mass production has begun on printed files and things should go smoothly until the end of March, except for this Chinese New Year break. 50 production copies of the Bad Karmas have arrived at the studio for inspections. They've been working overtime during the holidays to get these boxes inspected, and the final results was a stunning 100% acceptance. All components, cardboard, plastic, and electronic passed muster, and the only issue that they found was with the packaging of the shipping boxes. They'll correct this, and mass production is now complete. Now they move towards fulfillment. The big box, as promised, is Calyx friendly. Fulfillment of Agemonia is finally underway. The pledge manager has been opened one last time to allow address changes and final payments. No items can be added to your pledge at this time. They provided a shipping schedule for pledges that shows the US, Canada, and UK pledges going out the last week of January. In the EU, the first week of February, in Australia, and the rest of the world going out mid-February. The latest Kingdoms Forlorn update dives deep into the outposts and many of the mechanics surrounding them. Outposts are the jumping-off point for your delves. They come in many shapes and sizes and are unique to the kingdom in which they exist. Each outpost has a series of special events that can trigger and can affect the upcoming delve, or even change the outpost itself. Outposts are also where you'll recruit your followers with their specialized skills that will assist on delves. They host a gathering of merchants to allow for trade and optional contracts that you can undertake. They're also where you can employ scouts to gain an edge on your next delve. Oh, and they host some small gambling opportunities should you wish to kick back and have a little fun. They also briefly touch on gear updates that are modifier cards that you'll be able to add to your gear to keep it combat ready and will offer you some perks over the base stats. The update comes with a bit of an odd but helpful progress chart showing where they sit on various aspects of the game development. Sadly, their heavy development push has revealed a necessity for a bit of a delay. They plan to deliver the game in Q4 of this year. As an apology for the delay, they've come up with an upgraded party marker mini that will be included in the core box. Freight shipping of Heroes of the Shire also begins this month. Make sure and lock your address in the Pledge Manager if you haven't already. Fulfillment should begin around March for Asia, Australia, and New Zealand, around early April for the US and Canada, and mid-April for EU backers. Rest of the world packages should be sent out around the same time as the US and Canada packages. With all the shipping challenges in the shipping climate these days, they're having to raise the price of shipping by £5. The charge will come sometime in February. See the update for additional details. Production is wrapping and addresses will be locking soon for Dawn of Madness. With some delays at the factory, they've had an interesting coincidence. If you backed Deep Madness Returns, you'll be getting your packages at the same time. The factory should be done with both games around the end of the month, and shipping will be discussed in an upcoming update. Dungeons Universalis is continuing to ship around the globe. Most packages that did not contain the core box have already been shipped. The core box and extras shipping is still ongoing, with boxes bound for the US being loaded onto ships and making its way towards us soon. This update contains links to the STL insert for the core box and the new challenges box. The STLs come in single print and broken up into smaller pieces as well. The STLs of the miniatures for those that order them should go out soon. The web app has been updated and the Ludic Dragon store will soon have stock of the Spanish version and the English version once all packages are delivered. If you haven't already, you need to check out their amazing Facebook groups. They have an extremely active community answering questions and creating amazing content for the game there. Primal the Awakening is locking addresses. Mass production is complete and they're assembling the games as I speak. They plan to get the first load of containers out before Chinese New Year, another large load of containers to hit ships following the holiday. US and Canada fulfillment is due to begin in March. The second wave of shipment should happen around April to May. They offer a great explanation of the challenges of the current shipping climate if you want to check it out. They close the update with a little tease of more to come in the Primal world for 2024. Pre-production copies of Unconscious Mind are on the way to the studio for inspections. This update, they're sharing the core rulebook for the game. They'll return with more news of the pre-production copies very soon. A new stretch goal has been unlocked post-campaign for the Dreamescape. This goal unlocks a new scenario taking place in the city in Emerald. This ancient ruined city deep within the Enchanted Woods is rumored to have been created by the horrific flying polyps. To find out more, you must investigate at your own peril. A new version of the rulebook is being published, and the cards on the TTS demo are being updated with all new iconography. Development is steaming right ahead, and they're even incorporating new ideas to improve existing content. HexPlore It is back with their January update for the Fall of the Ancients, and this is a big one. They're running ahead of schedule. They now foresee shipping to hubs happening in February, so hopefully this translates to earlier ship dates to backers. With this news, they're only giving you a little more time to finish pledges or pay shipping. The pledge manager will close on March 31st. To top off the good news, they've just released the Valley of the Dead King on Tabletop Simulator. Final approval has not arrived, and components for the Street Fighter V Champion Edition Legends are still under review by Capcom. They're offering full refunds to those who want them to apologize for the delay. Should you want one, check out the update for more information. Dante's Inferno by CSG will be hitting GameFound on February 20th. This week, they unveiled The Poet, which will be available as a free 48-hour early bird gift. The campaign will feature both funding stretch goals and daily unlocks, and they even give us a preview of the updated campaign page. Lucky Duck has been brought on as a language partner to help localize the game. It should be no secret, but this is easily one of my most anticipated games of the year, and I'm finally excited to see what it's all about on the 20th. The application for Divinus is now out with the English base game ready to be played. They're going to continue to add expansion content into the app over the next few months, with Pandora's Box and Chest of Plenty scenarios getting added in March, and Shadow of Yggdrasil being added in April. French and Polish versions of the application will be made available when those copies of the game ship in Q3. Anything else will have to wait for next week. I've rambled on for quite enough, it seems. Thank you to everyone watching, commenting, and supporting the channel. If you'd like to help the channel grow, consider subscribing or becoming a member of our Patreon and helping us reach our goal for getting new equipment for the channel. Have a great week, don't back without thinking, and play something fun this week.